welcome back to another episode of At Taylor's Table. Today we're going to be making one of my favorite desserts. It's my citrus olive oil cake. And yes, it does taste like olive oil. Whenever people ask me, what does it taste like? I'm like, first off, it tastes effing delicious. And second, it has hints of citrus, which are oranges, and it has olive oil in it, which gives a really fruity taste, not to mention also gives the cake a lot of moisture. And that's really awkward to say on camera, moisture. All right, so let's start with the dry ingredients. This is a really simple, basic cake. I need to say basic because it's not basic. It's pretty much flour, sugar, leavening agents, eggs, orange zest, orange juice, and really good olive oil if you can find it. But we're gonna start off with the dry ingredients first. So we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Bam. Some people like to sift their flour. I'm not one of those people. It's like another dish I have to clean at the end of the day, and if I can eliminate one extra dish, it just makes cooking that much more enjoyable for me, especially baking. So 2 cups of flour, and then we're gonna do 1.5 cups of granulated sugar to make it really, really sweet. I brought this into work one day when I was working my 9 to 5, and I swear to God, it was gone in like 30 minutes. And everyone was asking, what's in it? What's in it? And I was like, it's olive oil. That's it. All right, 1.5 cups of sugar. We're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon each of baking soda and baking powder as our leavening agents. It's gonna make this cake rise. And what you wanna do, I'm gonna put this in my cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, get a 9-inch baking pan, cake pan really, or you can use a springform pan. And you're gonna wanna grease it with butter and then sprinkle a little bit of flour in it so the batter doesn't stick. All right, baking soda. And make sure your baking soda is fresh. If you have this in your refrigerator, you need to buy a new one. And then it's gonna be 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I love putting salt in my baking dishes because it helps even out the sweetness. You gotta put salt in anything that you bake. It's gonna taste a hell of a lot better. Trust me. All right, 1 teaspoon and then 1/2. I really wish I could be like an old grandma and not have to use these measuring spoons, but because I'm not there yet in my baking skills, I have to measure it out. And because baking is more of an exact science than cooking is. So you just wanna whisk this all together, and you're also aerating the flour, which is gonna help not produce as many lumps. So again, you don't need to sift it. We're 3 eggs for our wet ingredients. Do large eggs. I like to bake with large eggs. Get more bang for your buck, right? That's what I like to tell myself when I'm shopping, because I'm cheap. Cool. So we're gonna whisk this. Whisk the eggs. We're gonna add 1 1/4 cups of milk. Use whole milk, don't use skim. Or if you have 2%, you can use that, but the more fat, the better. And then we're gonna add about 1/2 cup of orange juice. Gin and juice. All right, and the way that I like to get as much juice out of the orange is just to roll it. You can also put it in the microwave, but I think rolling it is just fine. So now I'm gonna zest 1 orange, or about 2 tablespoons. Like I said, I really like citrus, so I'm just gonna do the whole orange. And for this cake, you will need to get a zester or a microplane. So about 2 tablespoons of zest. Whisk it. Okay, so the best part, the olive oil. I use extra virgin. And look on the label of your olive oil, because usually it tells like the description of what it tastes like. Some olive oils can be florally, some can be fruity, some can be really grassy. Get something that's fruity. It's gonna have a milder taste. So I'm gonna put 1 cup of olive oil into our wet ingredients. And then I'm gonna put in just half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And don't be alarmed, this batter is gonna look green. That's cool. So you're gonna wanna give it a nice little mix to incorporate the olive oil and the milk and the orange juice and the zest and the vanilla extract. I've never been so happy to make a cake. All right, so we're gonna pour in little by little the flour, the sugar, and the leavening agents. I'm just gonna whisk this until it's all combined. Again, don't overmix your batter. Overmixing your batter turns into a really rough cake. You don't want that. So half of my reason for starting this show is because I myself have really poor eating habits. I mean, I've eaten cake for breakfast. And you can definitely eat this for breakfast because it's not a super sweet cake and doesn't have any frosting besides the powdered sugar that we're gonna dust off on it at the end. But yeah, I know other people my age who are working or going to school don't really have time to cook for themselves, and it's so easy. You have a potluck, you don't need to buy cupcakes or buy a cake from a bakery. Make it yourself. Brunch, same thing, make it yourself. It's much more rewarding, affordable, and super easy. Kidding. All right. So I have my cast iron skillet, and because I'm using that, I don't have to grease or flour it. But again, if you have something else like a cake pan, definitely grease it so that the cake doesn't stick. So we're just gonna pour the batter into your prepared pan. You can see like all the orange zest, and smells heavenly too. All right, so this cake is gonna bake for about, okay, so this is why you just don't wear French when you're filming, because you will get stuck. This is a hazard. All right, into the oven it'll go for about 15 minutes or until you stick a knife into it and the center comes out clean. All right, so we're done. Again, I'm gonna do my hair and watch an episode of Real Housewives, chillax, and I'll meet you guys back here in 50 minutes. Hi, welcome back. So we just took out the citrus olive oil cake from the oven. It's nice golden brown and smells delicious. I like to top it off with a little bit of powdered sugar. You can leave it plain, whatever you have on hand. Again, you make cooking adaptable for you and your lifestyle. Just get in there and cook. That is a citrus olive oil cake that you can enjoy for a snack, breakfast, or dessert, or tea time, if that's your thing. And I'm gonna go eat this. So thanks so much again for watching an episode of At Taylor's Table. If you'd like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like for me to cook next. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Taylor Henriquez and on Twitter at TaylorHenriquez.com. Bye guys.